Hey everybody, we are reading today about the Murdaugh murders. Lawyer, 54-year-old Alex Murdaugh gets accused of killing his son Paul and his wife Maggie. The trial is going on right now. There are also situations where one of the sons, Buster, is thought to have potentially be involved in the death of a person he went to school with, whose name was Stephen. And then on top of that, the housekeeper, Gloria, ended up falling down the stairs of the house. And there's talk of Gloria, maybe that wasn't an accident. And that is because Alex then went to Gloria's kids and told them to make a claim against his, I believe his life insurance or his home insurance, I guess it would be, whichever one covers that kind of stuff. And they did pay out, but Alex frauded the family and took all the money. So it's so messy, the whole thing. I was going to read about this and I'm like, I just don't even know where to start. So we're just going to ask some simple questions and hopefully we get some answers without going off in too many directions because this is so messy. So first, we're just going to ask about Alex's involvement in his son Paul's murder, which is just even hard to fathom, but Alex at first said he wasn't there, and now we know he was. They have him on a video talking at the kennel right around that time. So tell us about Alex's involvement in his son Paul's murder. Alex has done some really bizarre things, like also hiring someone to shoot him in the head. Alex's involvement in Paul's murder. So we have two cards here. It looks like there are two people here in the Four of Wands. That means that there may have been more than one person involved, honestly, is what it looks like. The Hierophant is also a like a leader card with two people sort of following along. It's so the Four of Wands is a family card. The Hierophant is, you know, these two looked up to this other person as kind of their leader. It's not necessarily telling me that he did it, but it may be somebody else did it that was involved with him, meaning he may have not done it directly. Someone else may have done it. Well, I mean, he paid someone else to shoot him in the head, so why wouldn't he pay someone else to do that to his wife and son? People also wondered if this could have been somebody doing it because Paul, the son, accidentally killed someone in a boating accident, Mallory. So was this someone trying to get back at them? It looks like there may have been more than one person involved. Let me ask about Alex's involvement in Maggie's murder. Tell me about Alex's involvement in Maggie's murder. Alex's involvement in Maggie's murder. Well, that is the Strength card, and that's somebody trying to close someone else's mouth. Again, I just feel like perhaps somebody else was involved. And Alex is trying to keep that whole thing quiet. He did change his clothes, so to me it looked very suspicious that it looked, I mean, honestly, it looked like he was involved. From what I'm seeing, it may have been someone else involved here too, if not just him. Let me ask just flat out, since we're getting such odd cards and like somebody keeping their mouth shut and Alex trying to get that person to keep their mouth shut and that person trying to stand up to that. Let me ask if somebody else was involved in Paul and Maggie's murders. Someone else involved in Paul and Maggie's murders. The guns, they believe, were Alex's. But here it looks like someone else may have been involved. Was someone else involved in Paul and Maggie's murder? Well, that is the Four of Swords, and as you can see, that is a card about, basically, it's a resting card, but in these kind of readings, missing persons, it can also mean that there was a death. When I ask about someone else being involved, I do get a death card. To me, it looks like someone else may have been involved. It's interesting because up here we have a mother and child. I'm not sure he did this by himself. Looks like there may have been somebody else involved. From what I see, the more I look at this, it feels like this is Maggie and Paul. So I feel like a woman and a younger boy. And I feel like there's an element of trying to get them to keep their mouth shut. Yeah, it feels like there is a trying to keep their mouths shut, trying to be the leader of the family over here in the Hierophant and the Four of Wands, and trying to be, I feel like, something he's not, trying to get them to look up to him. But it does feel like there's somebody else and something else going on as well. I'm just going to ask for a little bit more information about that. Let's pull a card for just Alex alone and then somebody else's involvement, because it seems to allude to potentially someone else being involved. So tell me about Alex doing this on his own by himself. It's like he wanted them to listen to him. Alex doing this on his own and look up to him. And they were going to go, they were going to go off on their own way. And didn't someone say maybe she was thinking about divorcing him? I think that may have been a lot of the issues. So Alex doing this on his own, I mean, that card is the Ace of Wands, and that definitely seems like a male taking action on his own. There's one wand. Wands could stand for male, and male taking action at that. So I really do think he did it on his own. I think what the cards more are saying is that Alex wanted to be the leader of the home, have them look up to him, but they were going to go off kind of on their own is what I see. So, and I say that because here you have 3 and there you have 2 as a family unit. So I think the family unit was just breaking up, and that I believe is what we also found information on. I think, if I'm remembering correctly, and you could put this in the comments, Maggie had seen a divorce lawyer. And then there was this element of just trying to keep people quiet. It looks like that was involved with the woman, and then the boy was trying to stand up for her. And I think that's what happened with how he ended up being murdered as well. And I do think it was just the father. That's what it looks like. It looks like it was just Alex. It was just that there's this other dynamic behind it. Oh, that's too bad. Okay. Tell me about Buster's involvement in Stephen's murder. Buster's involvement in Stephen's murder. Yeah, the family unit was splitting up. That's what I see. Buster's involvement in Stephen's murder. This Stephen was a really cute kid, young kid. They found him in the middle of a road. Buster's involvement in Stephen's murder. They had tried to stage it as perhaps he got hit by a car, but then the police that were there said, no, he's just got head injuries. That doesn't make sense. How would a car just hit you in the head? So Buster's involvement, we've got the Ace of Pentacles. That is a card about helping financially, offering assistance. And we remember that night, if I remember right, Stephen had broke down, ran out of gas, I think. And we've got this whole 8 of Swords, nervous, worried, tied up. Doesn't look good. It looks like there was this thought of, here, let me give you money. Let me help you in this moment. But he kind of stepped into that blindly. And I feel like they took him away from home, which they did, obviously. And he just didn't know what he was getting into. Let me ask for a card specifically depicting Buster's involvement, though, because I think there were other people in the car with Buster, so it doesn't necessarily have to be him. So tell me specifically about Buster's involvement in this. Looks like Buster may have been a little worried about it. I think things got out of control. Tell me about Buster's involvement in all of this. And there we have our our 8 of Wands that I still need to make sure I flip over this time. That's a slow moving card. That's not a whole lot of communication. That tells me he may not have been involved, to be honest with you. And here is Justice. I feel like this is Stephen, and I feel like Stephen, because it kind of looks like Stephen if you go and look at the pictures. I feel like Stephen will get justice, but it's going to be slow moving. I feel like Buster may not have been the head person involved in this. I think there were other people that did things. And actually, Buster was kind of nervous and worried about it. Because Buster, I feel like, tried to offer assistance. I think it was more, let's just ask. Tell me about the other people in the car. Because I think there were other people in the car, if I remember right. I feel like this is more them. Tell me about the other people in the car. Justice will come for this kid. I don't think it has yet, but it will. That's what I'm seeing. It's going to be slow. Tell me about the other people in the car. So, yeah, I feel like the other people in the car had more to do with this. And the reason I say that is because these two are a Page of Cups and a Two of Pentacles. They're both youngsters, as you can see. They look younger. They're just kind of being a little bit goofy, if you ask me. You know, look at both of them. They are, this one is kind of a card that I get a lot when somebody's acting. They're trying to act one way. They know something else happened, but they're acting a different way. This Two of Pentacles is somebody that is going back and forth on decisions. I feel like there was one main person that they weren't treating Stephen nice that night at all. They were acting, they were acting one way, but doing other things. Yeah, they were acting one way, acting like they were going to help him, but they didn't. I don't think Buster was as involved as we think he was, to be honest with you. That's just what I'm seeing in that one. It seems like these other two were more like key players, like trying to now pretend that they didn't have much to do with it. But I feel like they did. All right. The maid Gloria. Let's ask about the maid Gloria and how involved they were with that. The maid Gloria. Yeah, that's too bad, because I actually see Paul trying to stand up for his mom. And that is what, those cards are just catching my eye. What led to the murders. The mom trying to kind of like calm the dad down. As you could see in that lion. The lady trying to like calm the lion. And the boy trying to stand up for his dad. Okay, maid Gloria. Tell me about the maid Gloria being an accident, her death being an accident. Because now that there's all that money involved and that he got all that money, people want to hear about that. Tell me about the maid. Tell me about the maid. So this is like a conflict card. Everything going, everybody going every which way. I know they did say the dogs tripped her, and this card could potentially stand for that. I know my dogs have done that to me before, where they've gotten in my under my legs when I'm trying to walk on stairs. And this card, you could see everybody's going every which way. Like, so it does kind of make me think it potentially could have been the dogs causing problems that morning. We also got the Two of Wands with that, and that's a card about making plans, though. So that part makes me question it, because maybe there was conflict in the house, and or that was a plan that the dogs would get in the way. Isn't that terrible? I don't even like to think that. But I do see this planning card, the Two of Wands. And that is a card that's of planning before you take action. And it's interesting that they're both wands. We've got the Two of Wands and the Five of Wands. So it's almost like someone planned it out to have all this commotion going on. It does make you wonder. Okay, they said the money, like there was so much money, Alex would have had enough money to buy drugs for 140 years. So he couldn't have spent it all on drugs, as he's saying. So we're just going to ask about where the rest of the money went, because he embezzled quite a bit of money from his company. Not to mention other people. Where did the rest of Alex's money go? Tell us about where the rest of Alex's money went. Where did the rest of Alex's money go? It's these two. Well, Queen of Swords, it looks like he was keeping. Queen of Swords talks, right? She's somebody that says the truth. It looks like he was kind of paying people off. You see over here, like, let's be friends. Let's you just kind of keep that quiet. It looks like Alex did a lot of paying people off, trying to make friends, spending money to benefit himself. You see this little lion up here. He looks kind of, well, you're not so sure about him, right? He is a lion. He's got wings, but he's a lion. He's a lion. I think Alex was a lion, lying a lot. And he sweetened the deal with quite a few people to keep quiet. That's what I see. He was using that money to keep people quiet. Yeah. All right. Let's ask if he's going to be found guilty for the murder of his son, Paul. From what I can see, Alex, it looks like in the cards, did. The family was falling apart. Mom was trying to keep quiet, dad down. The dad was wanting mom and the son to keep their mouths shut. He was worried about the family split and that he wouldn't have the influence anymore that he would have as the head of the family, the Hierophant. You see the other two down here below him. Now they're not below him anymore. They've gone off on their own, as in the Four of Wands. We've got mom, the element of keep your mouth shut, keep your mouth shut. We've got the son trying to protect his mom. There's a lot going on. When I asked about him being involved alone, we definitely have a card saying he did it by himself. So it really looks like Alex, the father, was behind the murder of both Paul and Maggie, from what I can see. And he was really worried that if they went off, he wouldn't have the influence over them anymore. And it was very important for him, with all his secrets, his great world of secrets, and of course money was so important to him, that he kept that influence on them and that they didn't have their own family unit. That just wasn't going to happen in his world. So let's tell us about them, Paul or Alex. Can I keep their name straight? Alex being guilty of Paul's murder, being found guilty. Let's see what we have. These people have gotten away with so much. Everybody says that Murdaugh family kind of runs the area down there. Tell us about Alex being found guilty. Well, that is the magician. And the magician can pull out all kinds of tools and make himself disappear. That's an interesting card to get for Alex. I do feel like he's got a lot of tools at his disposal in this. I think he's got a pretty darn good lawyer. While he looks like he's a hot mess, I do feel like there's going to be things that remain hidden. And I do feel like he, to some degree, is going to make some things kind of go away with this lawyer. That's interesting. Let's ask about Maggie. Tell me about Alex being involved, or being found guilty for Maggie's murder. Alex being found guilty for Maggie's murder. Tell me about Alex being found guilty for Maggie's murder. Again, I'm not seeing cards that say he's going to be found guilty. We see like this guy making nice, so a plea deal maybe. We've got the Six of Cups, which is a card about using emotions, making friends, and then we see, you know, having a good relationship, and then we see this Lovers card, which definitely doesn't say guilty to me. It looks like he may be able to portray this as he did not do it. I know that's crazy, right? It's crazy because he looks as guilty as sin as you could possibly get. But I'm not sure he's going to be found guilty. At least not to the main. I don't know how it goes, the first degree, you know, to that. That's not what I'm seeing in the cards. We'll see. Then that's not what I'm seeing. Maybe a lesser charge, but not like the top one. That's crazy, huh? That's absolutely crazy. But I'm just not seeing it. Wow. Okay, well, isn't that interesting? Let's, I'm just gonna go ahead and put this up, and I guess we'll all wait and see. It's definitely not what I was thinking. All right, bye-bye.